My ancestors' archives are absent when awarding academias that analysed this alchemy and advanced. Apartheids aren't abolished, it angers me. Boycott bandits, barcodes, bantering from blood spills, battling from ballpoint pens, betraying behaviours of balanced state. Citizens commute to centres containing colonised curriculums in a capitalist culture, celebrating content causing comas in our conscious. Distance is detox. Dissociate from devoted demons, delighting from your destructions, no distractions. Every day, enhancing artist etiquette, echoing ethical essence, elevating ex-egoists with energy extraterrestrial. Fear is the flagship of facilitators of falsehood, forming fanatical fascists, fanning flames festively, forgetting they're fulfilling their fatal finale. Governed by gazettes glorifying garbage, generating grave gimmicks, glory to the gathering, gate crashing their game, gang came through glowing, hooded homeboys with their haikus, anti-hindering heavy hearts, helping heirs reach the highest, hydrated and humbled, no hurdles can halt their hustle. I interrogate intentions before inventing itineraries. I'm not inhibiting my identity to integrate, impossible. Big up introverts, infiltrating industries, including intercultural individuals, igniting more impact than Instagram influencers. Jealousy jeopardizes, no joke. My journal's full of jewels and joy whilst juggling jobs. Less Johnnies, more Jamillas joining my journey. Kinships in the kingdom to kick back with. Kicking out kindled keyboard warriors. Look out for loudmouths luring you to labyrinths of limelight. Levels of lethal lyricism like Mandem makes phase. Maximizing my movements to make my mark where it matters. Meditation in motion as I maneuver from mishaps. We're misinformed, misfit millennials in the midst of a mayhem of mutant melodies of media minions. Never neglect newborn nor. Nurture niche narratives, nesting in one's native notebook. Opportunist organizations orchestrate oppressive oriental obedience on set to overrated observers obsessed with objectification. The omnipotent oversees my obligatory obstacles, so I overcome, organically outshining on stage. Pardon my procrastination, it posed problems, leaving my potential a paralyzed passenger. Queens quadruple quickly, but it's a quest to qualify quotes. Reconciling with my roots resulted in revolutionary action, returning resilient. Repping my race and raising the ratio rapidly. Shape-shifting styles, spitting substance, serving society. Savage samples, shake stages, shocking spectators. I'm senseless if I settle. When surreal sights of supporters will slap the silliness straight out of me. Tracing my tribe in tampered textbooks, tangling thoughts, my temper's too textured for therapists to taste and tailor tranquility to trouble truth seekers. Underrated. Underestimated, unique underdogs, unapologetically undermining ugly understandings of the underrepresented. Valuable voyages of volunteers vibing with the violated virtues that vile villains vandalize. Withheld wisdom, what a waste of wokeness. Withheld wisdom, what a waste of wokeness. Workaholic, willpower, weatherproof, worthwhile, wildcard, wow. That's wordsmiths in 6 words, Wretch 32. Never a xenophobic with X-rated hatred. I'm a xerophile from Hackney. Yesterday's youthful yearbooks of youngsters playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And their yards never yawning. Zooming from Zion's, no zigzags, stay zealous in my zone. I give 0 damns. Thank you. I was really scared I was going to forget a letter. Because that was hard, man. Okay, the next one I'm going to perform is called Decorated Walls. Have you ever felt pissed when someone else made it? I ain't hating. I'm just jealous that they're dedicated. There's risks worth taking, yet you worry if it's rated. You could take it to the stages or kick it at the stadium. Life's what you make it like. Neo when he awakened. You got fire in you, man. Why'd you let them take it? You got the right energy for the wrong fight. All these 9-to-5s to stunt online for a couple of likes. But where's the comments and messages when you're dying inside, out of sight? We spend too much time trying to look on fleek, but you can be peasant dressed, blessed with the manners of a queen. You're more than what meets the eyes you see. Your worth ain't determined by your rave level. We're all living in prison behind these decorated walls. I'm just trying to bring life to the end, not life to its end. My vision's clearer than colorblind feds, and I had to silence this mess to find a few phrases like I'm going deaf, trying to give you something you ain't heard of yet. And yes, it's hard to chase your dreams with chains up to your knees, but have you ever felt pissed once someone else made it? I ain't hating, I'm just jealous that they're dedicated. You call it luck, that's offensive. Them times they were ghosting, they were grinding in silence. That's time well spent at old time big checks. I can't gamble with success with only jokers on my deck. And it's all funny till I'm holding a tech. I regret knowing so many faces. I can't keep up with the mask that changes. The polished smile with the devil's fragrance. The scent of a pagan. Ever seen a devil's blessing in the making? Ever seen a devil's blessing in person? We're never taught how to recognize crows with our eyes closed until they're feeding off the pieces we're breaking of. They start hating the progress that you're making, get frustrated and blame you for changing. But after all of this, I still can't believe the person you're portraying, because the pictures of us tells a different story, and it's hard to show you my perspective, because every time I think of you, my mind goes dyslexic, and 1,000 words ain't enough, even if I sketched it. We're all living in prison behind these decorated walls. We're Super Saiyans when the sun's up, but cowards when the light's off. Trust a blind man in a dark room. How well do you know your dark roots? These houses looking darker in these dark streets, but there's a halo over my mum's roof that too many people have abused. I've got God's words on repeat every time I step out the door. Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah. Never trust every friend that you greet, because there's too many skillful people moving deceitful. Whatever happened to being truthful? It don't cost us a dime, see. I'd rather you get pissed for a bit than deceive you for a lifetime. I'm the type to spit bullets at my family so they can learn how to dodge the next one from the enemy. And word to my mum and my siblings, but most relatives ain't even relevant. I said, most relatives ain't even relevant. Even blood can get colder like Scar when he murdered Mufasa. Slain in vain to be in rain, that's insane. Like a partner trying to explain why he cheated. Like a father trying to explain why he cheated. 7 years of love can go in 7 seconds of lust, and it's never enough until it happens to someone you love. Your daughter screaming with her mum while karma's screaming tough. But darling, don't make a fuss, and you best act tough, and don't talk much to anyone, because we're all dumb enough to get handcuffed for a reputation, because we're all living in prison behind these decorated walls, and nobody wants to see dents on these walls, because we're all living in prison behind these decorated walls. But have you ever felt pissed when someone else made it outside of these walls? Thank you so much. I'm loving the energy, man, especially like this corner over here. You guys are like my hype man. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go straight ahead with this one. Picture a popper with powerful proverbs, preoccupied with perfecting pieces, paralyzed in performance. It's too late to turn around the crowd, hear him snicker. It's the figure in the mirror that made her feel inferior, confident exterior, shaking on the interior. Forgive her, she's a beginner, she doesn't know it yet, but she's a winner. Couldn't tell by her picture. Would have thought she was illegible. Craft's been overdue, been waiting on a sequel like The Incredibles 2. I had to hit the pedal, like is it worth the hustle? I have moments of analysing what I choose to do. Is my art just regret that it'll be reduced to? Shall I scrap my work, dismiss my debuts, delete all my socials, be never heard or seen? And forget that I ever had this ability? And blame it on excuses, how the world owed me favours that wouldn't come through. It wasn't meant to be, I wasn't one of the luckiest few. No point in going any further. Rest my head on the pillow and wake up with amnesia. But that don't sound like Chifa. Something's always here to remind you what you have to do. It's between a curse and a blessing, your mind's scolding you. The day's a waste if you don't write a verse or two. Not long till it's due. Trying to get that spotlight before your lights go off. Trying to get that last word. Microsoft. Trying so hard to make a change, but please watch your state. Because you can catch your biggest breakdown trying to catch your biggest break. Hold on to a team that helps you elevate. You've been who've been through the same phase of spending all-nighters just to get a few short-liners, feeling guilty the next day for having a lie-in. Don't stress though, it's all about timing. The people with the talent of a storm take the longest to blow. It's a whole pilgrimage between get ready and go. I'm stuck between truthful and commercial. How do I dumb it down to get your attention, but still add value? Careful of what you consume. You only ever know half the truth. I don't know who the gift of foresight got passed to. The luckiest few who have a clue. Show me the route, I'll change my attitude and serve a greater purpose. Don't get nervous. Write your first verse. Rehearse it. It's not necessary to explain your art's intensity. It's the complexity that's got people listening anxiously. Test your skills on the field like Mo Salah, Champions League, when he had them thinking Muslim is the thing to be. See, all along you were kings and queens, your female MCs, where you lot hiding? Oh, that was dead. Your female MCs, where you lot hiding? Only coming out when a brother need wifing. We need more MCs, enough MUAs. Females, get your flow like the Ocean's 8. I'd rather be the fool to start the change than be lost to the game. The traffic's insane. People don't know where they're staring, because where hip-hop's heading, the bullet that hit Tupac must have felt sorry. I'm still searching for that rose that grew from concrete. Lyrical guru, you had so many to teach and so much to do. Feeling like Lee Mubai. The poison was never meant to land on you. For standing up to figureheads while getting hates from thicker heads. They tell you to pick your best, but do they give the power to the people just to trick the rest? How they got Gandhi's words but Hitler's breath. Ancestor success is the oppressors. Most relationships come like wrestlers. They fighting in public, but they spudding in private. And they ain't even fazed by the slightest. Killing a nation while feeling delighted. Man, don't your graves feel like they're the tightest? And don't your deeds feel like they're so lightless? Just like the way you lived your life, lightless, looking for your wallet, you can't find it, because you can't bribe death with diamonds, devil's best client, you can't even hide behind him. You used to publicize it, now you fight it, try to deny it. That body armor of an ATM is no longer a giant. Nothing could pull you out of your confinement, not even the sheep you were leading, the children you were breeding. Nothing could resurrect your spiritual treason. Thank you. So the last one I'll be performing is actually about something very important to me, which is my religion. I'm not trying to convert you all. So I wrote this during Ramadan last year. Ramadan, for those of you who don't know, is a holy month of fasting, of spiritual development. It's not just fasting from fruit, from food, from drink, from, not even water, fasting from water. It's also fasting from the bad things that you do, fasting from backbiting, from treating your neighbor badly. So yeah, I wrote this during that time. I was struggling mentally. I feel like mental health is a very taboo subject, not only Muslim communities don't really talk about. It's also within the BAME communities, which I think should be brought to light more. Especially, you can't really have a good spiritual development if your mind ain't right. So yeah, this one is called Ramadan. Do we have any Muslims in the audience? Okay, everything is going according to plan. Okay, this one is called Ramadan. Bismillah. Just for some like words, Arabic words in here. Tarawih is the word for prayer. It's the prayer that's done during Ramadan. So it's a night where, again, Muslims get together, they pray for a long time. They use that night to spiritually develop. So, yeah. What do you know about Ramadan nights? What do you know about post-Tarawih vibes? What do you know about Nasheed playlists? Mahir Zain and Zain Beek are all-time favorites. What do you know about WhatsApp group chat spreading reminders, forever inviting? What do you know about communities dining, with that patience of feeding before being fed, saying salam to each other before breaking bread? Stories of people's journey to Islam causes the born Muslims to return. Food always tastes like home over a good conversation, pondering over the miracles of the revelation. Now, what do you know about mothers working overtime on their feet, spending hours on our meals whilst feeling weak. I'm overwhelmed when I think of Allah's love being even greater than that. May God remove all the burden on their back and make their deeds overflow. What do you know about queens flexing in abayas with that Ramadan glow? That rare shine, that nur from the Most High? Now what do you know about yourself? About your spiritual health? And those abandoned depths, looking dusty like the Quran on your shelf. Ashamed I didn't start reading it since Ramadan begun. It feels like there's two sides of me in this 1 month. The way my mind starts to act up and rebel, like I wish you got locked up like the devil. Because when you've got only yourself to blame, that ability to change looks so far away. Take time to locate that spark. Sometimes you need good breakdowns to erode those hard rocks in your heart. It's true, we're all struggling, but that don't mean that we stay deprived of the reminders. In God we rely in, so prayer done applied it. Rise up before you get raised up. Last third of the night we stay up. I remember seeing people praying Taraweeh. I remember thinking that could never be me. I remember being hardly able to recite Quran al-Kareem, and now I see verses unfolding right in front of me. I didn't know God saw this potential in me. Irrelevant worries I will no longer dwell. I overestimated this mortal dunya and I underestimated myself. I'm spending hours being enlightened. You can almost see the tan line. Sadaqa Jariyah, you know I'm trying to plant mine. Finally, I'm a little less afraid if I died. Imagine choking on your shahada and your tongue tied. I ain't saying I'm one of the best kind, but I ain't becoming a slave to the hype. And I'm reminding myself as much as I'm reminding you. Every day reflecting on what you pursue. Like I'm hearing myself speak and I'm beginning to deepen. If I held a mirror to my desires, would I like what I see in it? Is this for the digital scene? For that typical greed? If I steamed my intentions, what would come out from it? Dead skin cells, sweat, angel or demon? Do they contribute to my deen, to knowledge, to helping those in need, to my legacy? Because I don't want no one to do me a service if that does a disservice to God. I don't want other people's sins on my record. So pray for those who are being killed, raped, and starved day to day. It's not enough to pity their state without seeking justice from the state. And give as much as you can when you have more than what you need on your plate. Charity never decreases in wealth. I've always been given more than what I gave. Ya Allah, purify our intentions and make our heart clean. And inshallah, everything we'll do will amplify the love for you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to Fisky for this platform. It's very important that I speak about the things that... It's the first time I proper performed this poem specifically, because I think it's important to use this platform to speak about the things that make me a better person, better performer, and just a representation of Muslims across the art scene is horrible. Yes, come on. But thank you all for tuning in and follow me on social media. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.